Okay, so why do they call you the golf whisperer?
Because I speak like this when I think it's just a name that people gave me because my knowledge of golf and I know quite a bit about it. And it's like, I think it's based on the movie The Horse Whisperer, where the guy was able to speak to horses. So I suppose they look at me that way as the golf whisperer.
Now, talk about fear. Tell me about, you were talking before about how sometimes people come to golf and they have this extraordinary fear, maybe of being good.
Yeah, well, fear is kind of the enemy of the golfer. You know, it's there's different types of fear. There's a fear of failure. There's a fear of looking bad. There's a fear of the outcome. I had this student, Mark, used to come to me all the time, and he was always trying to impress me. Every time he hit a ball, he'd be like, you know, I'll do it better this time. I'll do it better this time. And he was just full of fear. And then I always knew when he was going to hit a poor shot because he'd stand over the ball for too long. And it could, you know, rigor mortis would set in. He'd get very tight, and you know, his muscles would get very, very tight. And he would make nothing like his practice swing. His real swing would be completely different than his practice swing. So he was full of fear. He had a fear of failure caused by the ball, and he had a fear of, you know, of not being able to impress me as a golfer.
It seems like with golfing, like people really just want to be good, and so they want to be good so bad that they're stressed out. That's what it feels like with golf. I don't know.
Correct. They say it's meant to be a relaxing game, but you see people I see people coming off the course and look anything but relaxed. They look very stressed out and very nervous.
Like they're trying to impress one another or something. It seems like they're trying to.
It's one of those games, you know. I haven't played other sports myself, and I've also taught some athletes and stuff, and they think that how difficult can it be, you know, this game of golf. But it's really a very, very difficult game.
Oh my God, very.
And the thing about golf is like it's the only it's you and the little ball, and you can't blame anybody else. You can't blame your teammate. You can't blame the referee. It's just you and the little ball out there in the big wide open field, and you're responsible for what happens. So the ball controls you basically.
All right, so I got a good loaded question for you. How does one stop having that fear of wanting to be good or impress other guys or impress you or get it in the hole or whatever? Like, how do they stop that?
Well, I think the first thing about golf is you have to enjoy it, and you have to take on the challenge, but you have to enjoy it, and you kind of have to check your ego on the first tee. It's not an egotistical sport. It is, but there's no place for ego, you know, with a golf club in your hand and the ball looking at you. So I think to overcome that fear, the first thing you have to do is enjoy it and have fun, which is easier said than done. But that's really, like, I know personally the best golf I played was when I enjoyed it and I was in a nice, relaxed state of mind.
Interesting. I wonder if that's hard to get to, being relaxed.
It takes practice, just like the swing itself. It takes practice. Everything takes practice. So you have to practice the mental side of the game as well as the physical side of the game.
Okay, and how do they psych themselves to get relaxed and just say, hey, just take it down a notch? Like, how do they?
A lot of people engage in different breathing practices, pre-shot routines. They walk at a certain pace. They slow their heartbeat down. They slow how they walk down. They don't get ahead of themselves. The old saying, one shot at a time holds true. You know, because really that's all you can control. So there's a thing I call in golf called the all I have to do syndrome. And it's all I have to do is, you know, get the ball in the hole. All I have to do is par the next 2 holes to shoot my best score ever. All I have to do is birdie the next hole. All I have to do is avoid the water. All I have to do is, you know, so if you get into the all I have to do syndrome, you're in trouble on the golf course. So it's really about staying in the moment, one shot at a time, and just, you know, you get into a little zone. It's like practicing anything. The more you get into that zone, probably the better golf you're going to play.
Thank you. So this is David Byrne, PGA.
That's right.
Thank the Golf Whisperer. Thanks
You're welcome.
for everything. Thank you.